Picture this. What if there was a door that simply never existed during the day, but every single night at exactly 3:13 a.m., it just appeared? And what if anyone who actually opened it managed to come back, but they were never truly alone ever again? Well, before we dive into today's explainer, I want you to do me a quick favor. Turn off your lights, lock your bedroom door, and just remember one very important rule as we go through this. If you ever hear 3 slow knocks, absolutely do not answer them, because whatever is on the other side, it might already know your name. Welcome to the Descent into Blackwood Manor, Mechanics of a Haunting. Today, we are mapping out the exact physical and psychological traps of this totally impossible house. Because listen, this isn't just your standard ghost story. Not at all. It is a literal architectural nightmare. We're talking about a living, breathing prison that actively feeds on human souls. To really understand how Blackwood Manor works, we first need to understand the man who dared to walk through its rusted iron gates. Let me introduce you to Jonathan Hayes. Jonathan is a highly respected paranormal investigator, and he's been doing this for 12 years. For over a decade, he's walked into abandoned hospitals, haunted churches, cursed forests, you name it, and he always does it with this deep, unwavering confidence. Why? Because to Jonathan, every single haunted place has a logical explanation. Hidden speakers? Sure. Old pipes groaning? Definitely. Human fear playing tricks? Absolutely. He is exactly the kind of guy who will stand in a freezing, haunted hallway and confidently blame a drafty window. So he approaches the silent, vine-covered ruins of Blackwood Manor completely unafraid, truly believing that ghosts simply do not exist. But right off the bat, we see this massive, fatal collision between Jonathan's strict logic and Blackwood's horrifying reality. The second he steps inside, the front door violently slams shut and locks behind him. Jonathan? He just nervously laughs it off. He tells himself it's just swollen wood. But he is actively ignoring the impossible sensory details right in front of his face. The brass handle of the door is freezing cold. The air is thick, smelling of rotting wood, wet earth, and old blood. And honestly, the most terrifying part? In a mansion that's supposedly been abandoned for 90 years, there is absolutely no dust on the floor. None. Instead, there's just a trail of fresh, wet, bare human footprints leading straight into the dark. So naturally, Jonathan follows these footprints. They lead him all the way to the end of an incredibly long hallway, where the room numbers just stop. Dead end. Except, right there, he finds a perfectly clean, brand new black door. And then, out of nowhere, every single grandfather clock inside the entire mansion begins chiming in perfect unison. 1, 2, 3. His watch vibrates. He looks down. It is exactly 3:13 a.m. And slowly, the black door creaks open all by itself. But it doesn't sound like a wooden door opening. It echoes with this deep, heavy, metallic sound, almost like a giant bank vault being unlocked after centuries. And beyond it, just a wall of darkness that literally absorbs the beam of his flashlight. The second he steps through that door, the mansion behind Jonathan completely vanishes. Gone. He's instantly plunged into this endless stone corridor, lit only by pale blue flames. And this is where he meets him. A towering figure wearing a wide-brimmed hat, holding a glowing red lantern. The Keeper. But here's the thing. The true horror in this corridor isn't the Keeper himself. It's the walls. The stone walls are completely covered in thousands of handprints. Small hands, ancient hands, and some of them are moving. Literal fingers twitching, scraping the stone, begging to escape, whispering for help. It's in this exact moment Jonathan realizes, with a sickening drop in his stomach, that he isn't just in a haunted house anymore. He is standing inside a living entity that absorbs its victims. Jonathan is running from the darkness now, completely panicked, and he suddenly encounters a faceless little girl. She's just standing there, humming this ancient lullaby, and she presents him with 3 doors. This moment brilliantly illustrates the psychological torment of Blackwood Manor. It doesn't just attack you physically, it weaponizes your deepest, most personal attachments. The eye door whispers his childhood nickname. The clock door screams out in his father's exact voice. And the broken mirror door, it's begging him, crying in his own voice, saying, "Don't open it, you'll become the next Keeper." I really want you to ask yourself, if you were standing in that freezing room, which of these impossible choices would you make? For Jonathan, driven crazy by the desperate sound of his own voice, he makes his choice. He chooses the mirror. The panic escalates instantly the second he steps inside. It's a massive hallway filled with hundreds of mirrors. At the very end of the hall, Jonathan realizes his reflection has stopped matching his movements. 1 second in, the reflection just smiles at him with pitch black eyes. 2 seconds, every single other mirror in the hallway changes, violently flashing all these different horrific scenes of Jonathan dying, falling off the roof, drowning in black water, literally turning to dust. 3 seconds, all the glass shatters outward at once. 4 seconds, the doppelganger calmly steps right through the broken frame. It looks exactly like Jonathan, exactly like him, except its shadow is moving in the complete opposite direction. Fleeing for his life back into the grand entrance hall, Jonathan grabs the front door. Locked. And standing right beside the door, just smiling politely, is his copy. The doppelganger actually explains its horrific purpose. It's a prison guard. It tells him, "I am what this house creates." And suddenly, all the chandeliers in the hall burst into ghostly blue fire. The painted portraits on the walls, they come alive. An old woman starts scratching at her canvas, a little boy pounds on the frame, a soldier is just screaming. You see, the house keeps every single soul that enters, and this copy, its only job is to ensure absolutely no one ever leaves. But then, a massive crash shakes the entire ceiling. Dust rains down on the marble floor. Thump. The copy instantly loses its confident smile, because the real owner of Blackwood Manor has finally awakened. A giant shadow entity drops straight down from the ceiling. It's completely terrifying, impossibly long arms, a body made of swirling, living darkness, and where its face should be, there is only a slowly rotating, pitch-black circle. And when it speaks, it whispers in a voice that sounds like hundreds of people all talking at the exact same time. Thump! The urgency goes through the roof right here. The shadow monster attacks, its claws literally tearing up the solid marble floor. And the house itself goes crazy. It begins to shift and change, staircases split apart and twist into these giant moving snakes, solid walls suddenly become doors. The copy, realizing it was actually once a human who tried to destroy the house too, makes a choice. It sacrifices itself to the shadow monster's dark tendrils, and as it breaks apart into glowing black particles, it throws Jonathan a silver heart key. Engraved right on the metal is one single sentence: "Every door demands a price." Thump! The monster is right behind him now, and the entire mansion is pulsing with this deafening, heavy heartbeat. The walls are throbbing, the floors are trembling beneath his feet. Jonathan sprints up those shifting stairs until he bursts into an endless, perfectly clean corridor. But there's a huge catch. Every single door in this hallway has the exact same number on it, 313. And as he runs past, the doors creak open, frozen people are just standing inside them, staring blankly. An old woman, a soldier, a priest. And they are all whispering the exact same warning. The key chooses. It doesn't save, it replaces. Ignoring their warnings, Jonathan jams the silver key into a final door marked with a heart. He stumbles into the heart room, and it is completely jarring. Unlike the freezing, terrifying rest of the mansion, this room is actually warm. It smells comforting, like burning candles and old books. Right in the center is this massive black tree. But when he looks closer, its fruits are actually hundreds of human hearts, just hanging from the branches, all beating in perfect unison. And sitting right there is an old, tired man covered in decades of dust. This is the original builder of Blackwood Manor. He's been trapped here ever since his own creation refused to let him leave. This house is a living prison, and the heart room, it's the engine keeping it all alive. But here is the terrifying truth. The old builder isn't the threat. Something else is moving up in the branches of that black tree. It opens two enormous, piercing silver eyes, and looking into those eyes, it triggers something honestly far worse than death. It doesn't steal your soul, guys. It steals your memories. Tiny fragments of light start drifting from its eyes, and Jonathan physically begins to lose himself. A memory of a little boy riding a bicycle, gone. A woman laughing by a lake, gone. His father's funeral, gone. One by one, Jonathan's core memories float away and are absorbed right into that black tree, literally stripping away his identity piece by piece. With his memories rapidly fading, Jonathan desperately scrambles for the one weapon the original builder points out to him, the first light. It's a small, old iron lantern burning with this warm golden flame. It's the only thing in existence that this darkness cannot consume. The second Jonathan grabs it, the golden light flares up and it completely illuminates the creature's true form. It isn't just made of shadows. Oh no. It is formed from thousands of trapped, crying human faces, all merged together into one mass. These are the lost souls of Blackwood Manor, silently begging for someone, anyone, to help them. The light makes the creature retreat, sure, but it accidentally triggers something far more apocalyptic.
Deep beneath the roots of the tree, this massive circular door begins to groan open, revealing just an endless, terrifying void full of moving, watching eyes. And stepping right out of that pitch-black darkness is an older, horribly scarred version of Jonathan himself. This older Jonathan walks up and hands him a worn field journal, revealing the ultimate terrifying truth of this place. The last door is not the entrance. The last door is the prisoner. And then a gigantic stone hand, covered head to toe in ancient symbols, emerges from the void, reaching straight for the heart tree. If that hand touches the tree, the ultimate darkness will escape into our world.
Okay, we have reached the epic climax of our explainer today, and the sequence of events here is completely chaotic and frantic. Step 1. The old builder sacrifices himself. He literally lets the shadow creature impale him so his glowing soul can wrap around and bind the monster like chains. Step 2. Jonathan sprints forward and presses the golden lantern directly against the black trunk of the heart tree. Step 3. Liquid sunlight just absolutely floods the tree, and those thousands of trapped faces finally detach. They float upward, peaceful and free at last. Step 4, Jonathan drives that silver heart key right into the trunk of the tree, splitting it wide open to reveal a simple, small wooden door. A door with warm, inviting morning sunlight pouring right through it. Jonathan steps toward that sunlight, finally breathing in real, fresh air. He survived it. He actually beat the mechanics of the haunting. But as he reaches the exit, the keeper is just standing there by the door, smiling faintly. "You've saved everyone," the keeper whispers, pausing before delivering the final devastating blow. "Except yourself." Jonathan slowly looks down at the floor. His shadow is completely gone, disappeared. He escaped, sure, but a piece of him belongs to that house forever. So I want to leave you with this thought as we wrap up today's explainer. If a place takes your memories, takes your voice, and takes your very shadow, are you really the one who walked out the door?